so very much, Miss Edgecombe. So ladies and gentlemen, I am excited because if you had the opportunity to be at the BYOB Expo, if you were in Orlando, Florida this past weekend, you got to hear from this wonderful individual that you are hearing from this evening. You got to hear her speak. You definitely want to be in her presence and hear her speak if you are in Orlando, Florida. So do not miss the opportunity to hear her or to hear from her, if you are ever graced with this opportunity. So thank you very much, Miss Edgecombe, for hosting these calls. I love what you do. Thank you so very much. You are very important to the BYOB movement. Ladies and gentlemen, as we begin this call, what we are here to do and what is happening is this is the BYOB. This is the BYOB Power Pack Tuesday. You heard it. This call, what we are here to do is financially impact and empower you. Immediately following this call, we have what's called a talk with the finance doctor, which is your RX for Forex. So you want to make sure that you stay put because this is going to be power packed. So what we want to begin tonight, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the cash out strategy, BYOB cash out. How can you cash out? But what I want to do is I want to begin with sharing with you. I've had the questions and I've had a lot of people. I trade on my phone. But there are quite a few of you that also want to trade on the computer. We like trading on the computer as well. And so I'm going to show you how you can set up your computer. How can you do that? How can I set up my computer? So you can set it up by downloading the platform from your broker. So I'm going to share a screen with you. And now bear with me because I am working off of two computers because as you all know, I have a Mac. So I'm going to be also working off a laptop as well. So you see I'm screen sharing from another computer. So as I stated, bear with me just a tad bit. Now what you see is me sharing my screen from my Mac. From my tablet. And I'm saying everything but the right thing. Me sharing it from my laptop. And so you can do that. Now, I'm going to tell you up front, if you have an Apple device, you have, in order to be able to download from you have to download this from your broker. If you have an Apple device, you must download this you must download something to make it compatible, and that's something called Wine. You have to download Wine. Now that's gonna take a little bit extra and a little bit more, and now we're not gonna go through that tonight on this call. So if you do have an Apple device, this is a Windows-based program. So if you have an Apple device, I'm going to stress to you that you have to download something called Wine because this is a Windows-based program. So you still have the opportunity, the capability to be able to trade from your computer. So now what you see is me on my Windows laptop because the broker that I use, the compatibility. So I just want to let you know. So it's not necessarily anything wrong with the software or the program. So me personally, I just actually prefer to use my cell phone. But for those of you that like to use it, you can actually use your phone. Your computer. So this is actually what it looks like when you download that program, when you download that software onto your computer. Now, when you download it, okay, this is what it's going to look like, and it's all gonna look different. So I can pull a currency pair, I can pull anything. So the one I have up here is Hugo's Way. Hugo's Way, you can, like I said, you can, any broker that you want to use, TradingView, Hugo's Way, CoinX, there's so many out there. Now, the one that I have up here, Hugo's Way, is because you also can trade cryptocurrency on the weekends, and you have the availability to also use more, you get more currency pairs, you get more on the weekends. Now, where do I find my currency pairs? If you notice, this is where my currency pairs are, right? This is where they are. I can right click this and I'm gonna click show all. Now, look what I have. Look at all the different currency pairs that I have. Now this is because it's Hugo's Way, okay? Look at all the different currency pairs that I have. So this is everything that you can trade under this particular broker. So I just want to show you some things before we get into it. Just to kind of show you. So this is the US 30. Now bear with me. Like I said, I'm on this tablet.
Ms. Dyer?
Yes.
This is Alfred Buckley. Can you use a okay, you said you can use a tablet?
The tablet is gonna look like an app.
Okay.
So if you're on a tablet, it's gonna look just like your cell phone.
Okay, no problem. Okay, good, thanks.
So if you on a computer, this is what it's gonna look like. If you on a, I mean, look, this Google. I can trade Google. Look at this. Netflix. You can trade. I'm just trying to show you. You can trade anything. Now we haven't set it up. I'm just trying to show you that with this broker, what you know, when we talk about, we hear about stocks all the time, and we've been watching the markets, and the markets have been up and down, and you know, you watching Bloomberg, you're looking at all the different things that's happening in the markets. I mean, you just look at everything that's happening. These are all the different currencies and the different things. I mean, look at that. That's eBay, right? So, I mean, it's just everything that's on here. Cryptocurrency, all the different, I mean, everything that you can ever imagine trading is on here. Now, we're not trading all this stuff right now. I'm just showing you that you can trade anything that you want to trade. So I'm just picking a currency pair. So that's what you can trade, okay? So how do I set this up to look like what I want it to look like? How do I make it look normal? How do I do that? So now that I actually have a currency pair that I'm looking for, okay? I actually have one that I'm looking for. I pick one, and I want to go here to insert, and I want to make it look like the cash out. Now remember, you are not analyzing on here. The same rules that I give you for your cell phone. However, what do we do for our cell phones? We set our cell phones up to kind of look familiar because we don't want it to look too far off. Even though we do all our analyzations on the web analyzer, we still pull up TradingView. That's where we do everything, right? So we're still gonna do everything there. But when we come here, we don't want it to look like this. So we're still gonna do everything that we need to do on those other platforms, but we still kind of want it to look familiar. So when I come, I'm gonna pick, you see I go to indicators, trend, and I can select my parabolic SAR, right? So that's 2, 2, which is the same indicators, and I add it on there. Now, I have to add, where's my settings? My properties. I want my candles. My bull, I want green. And my bear, I want red. So you have to physically change this for the first time, right? You have to change it. Actually, there's not even candles. So you have to actually change it. So, and you see me playing with it because I have to change it. And so you have to, I had to actually change it to candle. So what I did is I went to properties and I clicked common, and I had to actually go change it to candlesticks. And the colors were on the colors is where I changed my candles to green and red. So I had to click that and okay. Now I go back to insert and I want my indicators. And what indicators do we use? I pick we already got my parabolic SAR. Now I also want to add my stochastic, right? Definitely want my stochastic. My stochastic is 14, 3, and 3. That's the rules that's on the sheet. So these rules are written out for us already. So for my BYOB cash out, 14, 3, and 3. So I'm gonna make sure I add that. See, 14, 3, and 3. I'm gonna delete this other indicator that's on there, right? And now, which one is missing? It's my Hikinashi candles. Now, the one thing about the Hikinashi candles, remember, they are an indicator. The Hikinashi candles are also an indicator. So I want to show you what it's going to look like on here. So I'm going to change the color because it is white, but I'm going to change it to green because we still want it to be the same color. Now look, what you see is it laid on top of it. So you see it actually laid on top of the candles. So you actually see it's laid on top. So now it actually looks like the BYOB cash out, but so you don't have to change it each and every time. We need to come create a template. Now I've already made a template. So what you want to do is click Save Template. And when you click Save Template, you want to type that template name in and it's going to save it. So now, and you want to click save. I'm not going to save it right here because when you save it, I don't want to save it on top of what I've already done. But you want to type that name in and you want to click save, right? So that's what you want to do. So once again, you have to go through those steps initially to save your template. And when you make that template, then every time when you go to a currency pair, in order for you to trade on your computer, then it will automatically come up for you. So for example, I'm gonna pull one up. Let's pull one up. Let's pull one up. Trying to get one for you. See, I guess these are ones that I've already looked at. I want to find one that doesn't even have it on there, or it's already by default. So what I'll do then is this. I'll just change. See, what happens is when you click it, it just changes it for you. So now, no matter which one I pick, when you look at, all you do is the template you save. Now that's what it's going to look like. So now when you get ready to go trade, that's what it actually looks like. Do I have any questions on setting up a template? Questions or comments on setting up a template? Now's the time to ask questions or comments on the template. We've had a lot of questions or comments on this in the past, so I wanted to make sure that we were able to get this part set up for each and every last one of you all that actually want to be able to trade on the computer.
And again, Tasha, that list is in, you know, as far as setting up the properties and stuff is on the Facebook website or the YouTube.
For the indicators?
Well, just for the property, the indicators, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's on the BY. I did the BYOB cash out. I did the when I typed up the rules, I put the indicators on the top of the sheet.
Okay.
And so it's still just the stochastic with the 1433. It's the Hikinashi and the PSAR with the 0.02 and the 2.
Okay. And do we? Yeah. Okay. That's fine. And that's automatically set up in the the cash out on the IML.
Oh yes, correct. It's loaded. It's loaded in there correctly.
Yeah.
So this is just so you can see it when you come to the like for example, in your phone, it's loaded on my phone as well. So I'm not trading it on my, I'm not doing my analysis on my phone, but when I come to my phone to trade, I'm a extra confirmation type of person.
No, I get it.
Right.
So just for clarity for everyone to know, this is the MetaTrader 4 that is available for your desktop or your laptop. And just to be clear, that your MetaTrader 4 is only where you will enter and exit your trades. So this is giving you the benefit not only have the MetaTrader 4 on your laptop, on your phone, but also on your laptop. Sometimes I know individuals have had a better visual to be able to utilize it on their laptops and not on their phone. So this is why we wanted to make sure that you were able to utilize and understand the MetaTrader 4 to enter and exit your trades. I just want to re-emphasize the MetaTrader 4 is specifically for entering and exiting your trades, whether you're doing it on your phone or you are doing it on your laptop.
Correct. Absolutely.
We had a question in the chat. So the indicators for this particular strategy, the BYOB cash out strategy, is your palabaric SAR or PSAR, your stochastic, and the Hikinashi candles. So we know we had a question in the chat, so I want to make sure you got the answer to the indicators. It's the PSAR, the stochastic, and the Hikinashi candles.
And we are going to go over the BYOB cash out in just a moment. Again, we're definitely going to go over that and look at the actual BYOB cash out as, but I definitely wanted to highlight to be able to trade this and set up your MetaTrader 4 for your desktop. I definitely wanted to be able to do that. Okay, so who's drawing on a computer? I didn't know you can do that. So somebody else is doing that. So to enter a trade, you can actually, so what we'll do is, looks like, now I'm just gonna do this just for the sake of, to show you how to do it. So let's not look at this as I'm gonna take a trade. So, but I do wanna show you this before I do that. Now this button right here, where you see all these little windows, this button is you can actually, let's say you have several trades going, because we'll be in more than one trade. So if I have different trades going, or I have a couple trades, now this is that button. This is that window that will allow you to toggle back and forth between those trades. So you can actually have those windows up right here. It'll allow you to pick and choose and go between those different trades. So let's say I wanted to pick one, then I just come and I highlight that one, and now it brings that one back up. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just enter this trade for the sake of training, right? We're just gonna do this for the sake of training. So let's sell the market, because we know that the BYOB cash out is a market execution. So we've entered the trade, right? So now we're in the market. We've entered a trade. What I did is I click sell from here. You notice that it has a sell and a buy here. If you have a MetaTrader 5, you would know that this is also on your phone the same way. Now, if you have a MetaTrader 4, that's not the case. But if you have MetaTrader 5, you have this button also on your phone where you can just click it. So what I just did is I just clicked it. Now you want to make sure that you check your lot size. You want to make sure all of that is what you want it to be, because if you notice, just that one click put me in the market. But what it did not do is allow me to put my stop loss or my take profit. So what I actually have to do is modify it. I have to actually modify it. So you actually have to come in and do your take profit and your stop loss. We know that for the BYOB cash out, my stop loss is always outside of my PSAR, so it will be above my PSAR. But also, what I also know is that my take profit is 10 pips. What I do want to show you is I'm gonna enter a stop loss, because I want to show you that trailing stop loss. You can only do a trailing stop loss on the computer. You cannot do this on your phone. So 74.792. So I'm gonna modify my order. I'm gonna 74.792. So I modified it, right? So now I have a stop loss. So you see I have put my stop loss above the PSAR. Now, in order to put that trailing stop loss, we talk about, I want to right click it, trailing stop loss, and I would determine how many pips I want to put behind it. And when I right click it, trailing stop loss, now it's 20 points behind it. Now, it hasn't passed that. So if I'm doing 10 pips on the BYOB cash out when I'm on a 15-minute chart, is that something that's going to be beneficial for me on a 10 pips and cash out? That's not, because 15 points, 15 pips, that's definitely not, it's never going to activate. But if I'm trying to do it if I'm on the hour chart, the 4-hour chart, or I'm doing anything past that, or if I'm doing anything longer than that, I'm on the higher time frames, I definitely want to activate and put in my trailing stop loss. Because if that trade decides to turn around, or that trade does anything else, the market moves differently, now I know that my trailing stop loss is right there, because I'm going for more than 10 pips. So the lowest that you can do is that, the lowest you can do is the 15, as you saw. But because it's highlighted, you see I have my trailing stop loss in place. And that's how you put that trailing stop loss in. Any questions on that? Any questions?
Yes, this is Sharon. Can you tell me where you went in to do just now for that trailing stop loss? I missed that part.
Okay, so what I did is when I placed my order, I came and I highlighted over the stop loss. I right clicked it and I just highlight over trailing stop, and you determine it right there. You see it?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Oh, you're more than welcome. Now, how do I enter the trade another way, right? New order, and you pick your lot size, you enter your stop loss, your take profit, sell by market, buy by market, and the type of order that you want. Or you can do your pennant order, buy limit, buy stop, sell stop. So that's how you place your order by new order. So it works the same as your phone. You just have to do it a little bit different. It works exactly the same, but you just have to do it a little differently because it's new order. And then I would just look for the same buttons that I do on my phone. So if you've been trading or if you're beginning a trade, you still want to make sure that you understand the different types of orders that we have. So that's that buy limit, buy stop, sell stop. But for the BYOB cash out, we are doing market execution. And we would leave it market execution. And that sell by market or buy by market. That's what we're doing. Any questions?
Hey Tasha, I have a question. When you're showing how many pips you can take, how do you get the screen to do that? Just to show the pips.
As far as okay.
Like how you put a shadow to show how many pips were taken. Like if we were to look at it from let's say June 1550 right there where you see the buys going up. It's a strong buy right there on the left side of the screen.
Now I'm not doing any of that on here.
No, I know. I know, but can you do that on here like you would do it on
I don't recommend it. I haven't even tried, honestly.
Okay.
I don't do any analyzation on here.
Okay.
Everything that I do is still on my web analyzer or my TradingView platform.
Gotcha.
Everything I analyze is on my TradingView platform. I definitely know what you're talking about and I know what you're looking for, but I always do it on there. I just showed you how to how to make it look like this and how to make it look similar, because you still want to be able to look at it looking similar, because you want to be able to put in your stop loss and you take profit. You want to be able to do your trailing stop losses. So you want it to look similar. You want it to look as close as possible, but I'm not trying to do my analysis over here.
Gotcha.
But you still have to do your stop loss and everything else from over here. But I'm not doing my analysis.
Ms. Dyer, I have another question. This is Sharon.
Yes.
For your stop loss, if your PSAR is sloped, you know what I mean, not straight across, where would you do? You start at the bottom, at the lowest dot, or go above that, or does it matter?
Okay, so you're saying that this PSAR would be higher than this one, correct?
Yes, it would be sloped up. I've seen it where it's been like, just like.
For example, like let's say this one, and then they start going up, correct?
Yes.
This means that you missed the trade because we're only going for 10 pips, remember? So right. This means that you've missed the trade. So here, what you're looking for is you want to be outside. So when it starts moving up, that means you're already 5 pips or so, or even more into the trade, because you want the PSARs to move up. You want them to slope. That means that you have a strong trend. That means that you're in a trend. So the cash out moves in a trend. right? That's what that means. So, and that's exactly what you're looking for. You want that. So when I put my stop loss, it's outside of this. And so when I start seeing this, that means I'm moving in profit. So if my PSAR is moving straight across, then that means that my trend is not moving. I'm in consolidation. Or so, for example, like when I look up here, my PSAR is actually in consolidation. Or my trade is my trade is in consolidation. It's not moving. It's stagnant. So you always want it to be going up or down. It's not going to stay there. So you always want it going up or you want it going down. And that's what you notice that the PSAR is always going to be doing that. So they start out like this, but then they start moving up or they start moving down.
Just to add to that, just so everybody's clear, the reason why you would want to put your stop loss above or beneath the PSAR is if that wick forms and it gets close to it, it's not going to knock you out of the trade, whether it's on a buy position or a sell position. So you do get the benefit of making sure that you're still in the trade and not get out of the trade. So if your PSAR, if your stop loss is beneath the PSAR or above it, that's where you want to take advantage of it
And
as well.
Look right here, exactly what he just said. So you want it below it because right here, this almost touched it. So it will almost touch or actually touch the PSAR, right? It will, but it will not touch it. I mean, it will not go past it. So you want your stop loss on the outside of it. And then you notice that that's when that trend does. But when it actually gets to the point where it starts touching those candles, it flips. And that's what happened. And you see it flips right here. And then when it flips, look what happens. And then it starts coming in that downtrend. And then once it gets to those candles, it flips again. And now look what it's doing. It's moving in the uptrend. And then now the candles are moving in the uptrend. And when those candles start shifting and they no longer look like steps, then they start changing around. Those wicks form that Mr. Rogers just mentioned. Those wicks begin. Now they don't look exactly like Hikinashi because it's laid on top of the Japanese candles, right? This indicator is laid on top of the Japanese candles. But when that happens, and so we'll go into a lot more detail when we begin to analyze this in just a moment. So we'll take this actually to the web analyzer, but that's what you're looking for. But so we can actually take it and we can look at it the way it's supposed to look. Because if you notice, you see Hikinashi, they look like little sticks on here. And this is the candle part, that's a candle, but this is actually the Hikinashi on here. So do you have any other question as far as the entering of the actual trade so we can take it to the web analyzer? No other questions on that, so let me stop this screen share. And let me stop share. And we'll move it to the web analyzer. We will go over the cash out. All righty. Here we go. You see the difference now? You should all be able to see the difference. Everybody should see the difference. So this is why we don't do any analysis over there. This is why we always do analysis over here. This is why. And look, this Euro JPY is gearing up for a trade. It's not ready yet, but we're getting close. So let's look at this. So now, these are what we call Hikinashi candles. This is the BYOB cash out. So how do we determine a trade? And why do we only analyze on the TradingView platform? We do not analyze and determine our trades on anything else, because the Hikinashi candles are an actual indicator. And what you just saw is they're an indicator, and they're an indicator actually, you just, like you say, you just saw it. They're actually an indicator, and they're an indicator, and you saw them laid on top of the Japanese candles. And so they don't look the same. And so you're not going to get the right analysis. And that's why you don't analyze it on your phone. That's why you're not analyzing it on the broker's platform or website. You want to make sure you're on that TradingView platform, which this web analyzer, that's what they use. So now, when I first look at this screen, I want to, when I at first glance, what I'm looking at is my stochastic. So the web analyzer calls a trade, or I'm looking at this because when I first pulled it up, you looking at my first glance, I'm looking at the stochastic. Where's my stochastic? First, there are 3 rules. So my stochastic is always going to be, for me to take a trade, my stochastic has to be around that 20 or the 80. It has to be around that number. When it's around that number, if it's around the 20, which around here, around that 20, means that it's oversold. The market has been oversold. Around the 80 means that the market is overbought. So what does that mean? That the stochastic measures momentum. And measuring that momentum, when the momentum is down in an oversold position, the market has to turn around, and now the buyers are getting involved. When the market is around here and it's in that oversold position, that means the market has to turn around, and now it's getting in that overbought position. So it's going to sell. So now the market has to sell. So here we are. We were in an oversold position, and the market had to buy, and the market moved up. So when the market was down here and it was in that oversold position, we were looking for it to buy. It was around that 20, and so the blue line crossed over the red. What happened? The market was consolidated for a while, but then it actually didn't happen till it was up here. Honest to God, I would not have taken this trade, but it worked out. What I tell you about 50-50, I would not have taken this trade because it did not, my candles did not align until it was almost close to the 80. So I'm telling you, this is a trade I would have missed because we were here, it was in some deep consolidation, and then that's when the candles actually moved up in the uptrend. But now, where is it? See, you don't have to take every trade. To me, it wasn't worth the risk because we're looking at around that 20 and around that 80 is when we want to be in a trade. When the trades are in the middle, that's a 50-50 chance. It's 50-50. And so in this middle piece, this was a 50-50 chance that would have went in our favor. So that's what I'm telling you, it's 50-50. So now where are we? Right here, we're around this 80. And what we're looking for is a red candle with a flat top. So we have a red candle, but the top is not flat. Now what we're looking for is for the actual stochastic to have the stochastic to be the blue line, the flip to be in a downward. We want it to be in a sell. We want it to be going down. So in about another 5 minutes, it will probably be going down into a sell. Also, the red candle needs a flat top, and the P-star, the parabolic SAR, needs to be flipped over to the top. That's what needs to happen. So at 9:45, we can come back, because these are 15-minute candles, and check this trade, because this is going to be going into a sale soon. And then we can do our 10 pips and cash out. That's how simple the cash out is, the BYOB cash out. Do I have any questions on the cash out? Any questions? Because what I was just showing you is how we would enter this trade on your actual computer. So now we know how to do it on the phone and the computer. But do we have any questions on how to do this? Any questions on the actual trade?
Tasha, this is Dee. How are you?
Oh, hey, D. I've been looking for you.
Hey, I was tied up in a meeting. I apologize for being late coming on, so I was limiting my questions, but I had an incident happen with me today. So all I'm going to say, the wisdom of it, just looking at this particular peer that you're doing, I was in a similar situation earlier today. And so I was waiting for, I guess, the PSAR to flip so that it would go into a sale. And so it did, but I still didn't have the wisdom of it, but I do understand it a little bit better now, because the one example you were showing a little while ago, technically, even though it had flipped over, which I was waiting for that, and then I waited for another candle to form just to see, to make sure, because like that small one there has the wicks on it. So I was waiting for it to enter into a sell position. So it looked like everything was right and that it was going to go in that direction. So I, quickly measured everything up, did what I was supposed to do. But then it went into, so technically though, because the PSARs wasn't moving in that curve, and not even when it was above, just like the one before it, you see it in that sort of down slope. So now I understand a little better. So I actually took a loss on this trade because the PSAR was really like in a consolidation mode. And had I really understood that it wasn't like high above or putting itself into a slope position, I probably would have been a little bit more wiser. So I was glad for what I learned, and I was glad to see when you mentioned it. So now my eye would be a little bit more sharp when I do it again. Because my what happened, it looked like the blue had lined up just like it is now, like it was gonna, eventually it came like it was gonna go into that down slope, but it looked like it started pulling back, and it started going wide. And so what I noticed was that the stochastic was starting to go, I think you call it when it's just consolidating. It started consolidating, and now that I think about it, just like the little red up here that the PSAR that just popped on the top, it was sort of like that, but then they stayed straight. So it wasn't, all of it was actually looking together. So I should have been a little bit wiser with that. So that's what I learned today. Thank you so much for letting me share.
Oh, you're welcome. So just so I understand, this was going straight across right here like this one is?
Right. It initially looked like it was, we were waiting for it to drop.
945, that's a trade.
Right. I was waiting for it to drop.
Wait. Everybody, that's 945. You're getting a trade. I'm calling a trade.
Okay.
With a potential trade. I can't say take the trade. Potential trade.
Potential trade.
That's 10 pips and cash out.
Okay.
Euro JPY. Okay. Go ahead, D.
But we're good. I was just saying that it actually came down like this one did, but then it started moving across instead of staying on that down slope. So I didn't know, do you call that a pullback?
No, what I would say is when it's going across like that, right? When it's going, I had to take that trade, so I'm sorry. When
No,
it's
that's okay. I need to do it too.
when it's going across like that, I don't enter the trade. All the rules have to line up because you want the flat top, you
Right.
want the PSAR, and you want the stochastic pointed down. All the rules have to line up. And a lot of the trades today, well, I won't say a lot because I saw your post. You made quite a bit of money today. I saw your post in the group. You did quite well. So you're killing the challenge right now. So you're doing extremely well. But when you're looking at these, so if I have things that are not lining up, then you don't take the trade. So what we want to be careful with is getting comfortable and not forcing a trade. So because the rules are simple. So if we don't want to force it, and because the market is going to do what the market is going to do. And that's why following the rules are so very important. And that's why all of them have to line up. Everything has to line up.
Question.
Oh, go right ahead, Mr. Rogers.
Ms. Murphy, you mentioned that it was going sideways, just as Ms. Dyer is reiterating. Did you have a flat top, bottom, and were all three in alignment, or?
At the time it did, but then it really did get a little funky, and like this one is pointing down right now. It was pointing down, and then it just started going to the right, and I was like, what in the world? So it didn't, for whatever reason, it just didn't stay in that mode like I was expecting it to. And so then I started wondering, okay, am I panicking? Should I be pulling out? So I gave it some time to see what it was gonna do, but it started waving back across instead of keep heading down.
So my last question would be, as far as your risk mitigation, which is stop loss, do you recall where you actually put your stop loss at? Was it beneath the PSAR or above the PSAR?
Oh, I put it above. Yeah, I put it above. So my stop loss was good. Yeah, my stop loss was good.
Gotcha. All right. Just trying to envision where you actually, and FYI, for those of you, as you're beginning to become more acclimated, when you are putting out that stop loss, whether it's a buy position or sell position, anywhere from 2 to 3 pips above or beneath the PSAR would also protect you if that trade goes into consolidation. So that way you will always still be able to take advantage of it. So that's very important as well, to be able to put that stop loss 2 to 3 pips beneath or above the PSAR, depending upon if it's a buy or sell position.
I'm still excited though, because I'm in profit on a training call. And even with this, that's still 92%. So even with the example that you're given, D, you have been killing. And when I say killing, I mean in a good way. Right now, Cece say me too. So Cece is in profit too. So we are in a 20 pips. We just begun a 20 pips a day, that's how the market moves, is by pips. So for our guests on the call, that's how the market moves. So we begun a 20 pip in 20 trading days. Well, we're taking $50 and taking this to $2,000. So you're hearing from someone who just begun trading. So she is on day two of actively trading. So we just began this. And so for her to be on day 2 and she's taking her trades, and what you hear And the average is 92% accuracy. 92% accuracy, and she's at a higher percentage than that. So she's questioning that 1% of a trade. So really, she's at a 98% accuracy rate for her trades. So I just want to highlight that because, yes, you hear her talking about that 2%. But I want everyone to know that she's at 98% accuracy for her trades. That is phenomenal. And she's been posting all day. She's been posting trades all day. She's been texting me all day. She's been texting profit all the time. So I'm excited. $50 to $2,000 on this BYOB cash out. And this is what we're all doing. This is where we're going, and I'm just excited. I'm excited. And so this is the BYOB cash out. This is what we're doing. And before we transition this call, do we have, because we're in profit on the training call, do we have any more questions, any more comments on how the BYOB cash out?
So, ladies and gentlemen, this is Gerald D. Rogers, your business partner. On Thursday, I want you, once we upload this into the website, be prepared, because we want to make sure on Thursday night, just like that, we just put that trade in, and CC tapped into that trade, Ms. Dyer tapped into it. So on Thursday, we're going to go, all we're doing is taking trades. We're gonna make sure that everyone gets an opportunity to capture those 20 pips on our Thursday night session. We're going to be live in the market. Any currency pairs that you want to take advantage of, we are just going to be making trades for that entire hour. And we want you to always be in a position where you're taking advantage of the profits that is being made. So we're going to have some fun. We're going to use some currency pairs. We're going to show you how to every strategy the BYOB cash out strategy in particular, it needs to be and has to be universal. So we're going to show you how to take advantage of the BYOB cash out strategy on the foreign exchange pairs. We're going to show you how to do it on the metals. We're going to show you how to do it on the cryptocurrency as well as the indices. So be prepared on Thursday to be in profit, to be in profit, to be in profit.
Yes, yes, yes. Enroll, learn, profit. I'm so very excited. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's what Tuesday and Thursday is all about. BYOB. Be your own bank. Think like a bank, act like a bank, be your own bank. So, Power Pack Tuesday. We have to show you why, the why